Hello, everyone. I am back. I want to apologize. We were having some technical difficulties. You know how it is when you're dealing with technology, internet connections, and all of that jazz. I was really into it. I was feeling this. So I will recap. I was talking about my event that I'm having Saturday here in Maryland, California, Maryland. And if you're in the area, I would love to see you there. And the title of that event is called The Power of Transformation. And you know what? I am really excited about that event. We're going to be talking about gratitude. We're going to be talking about self-image. We're going to talk about expectations beyond your current obstacle, situation, challenges. We're going to be in some conversations about some things. There's other things that we're going to talk about. I don't want to give too much away. I want to leave you in a little bit of suspense. But you know what? The most important thing is lives are going to be changed. People are going to experience some breakthroughs. And it is the place you want to be if you want transformation in your life. Perhaps you're dealing with something. You've been dealing with it for a while. And you just kind of want some tools to help you get through it. Maybe you want to get through it faster. I'm going to facilitate a meeting on Saturday that will help you get through that. And I would love to see you there. And before we were disconnected, we were talking about the title of the event, which I think is very, very powerful. The power of transformation. The power of transformation. What does that mean? I think there's a lot of power in transformation. And I think when it comes to transformation, transforming your life, a lot of times we think that it requires, these grand efforts, big things. You have to do major stuff in order to experience different results or transform your life. And in some cases, that is true, right? It does require a lot of action, sometimes massive action. It requires growth. And sometimes that growth, is tremendous. And the effort to experience that growth is tremendous. Sometimes that's true. But you know what? Not always. Hi, Melissa. Good to see you. Glad you're here. But that's not always true. Sometimes transformation can take place with very small, minute steps. And I was talking about a conversation that I was having with an individual today, around relationships. And I thought that, the details of the conversation could apply to business. It could apply to obstacles, challenges, relationships, different facets of life. And we this individual was having issues with his relationship and he wanted some advice from me. And we started talking about small things that he could do in order to change the result that he was getting in his relationship. And I'll be honest with you. We started, when I really got to the root of his issue, things that came up were a very small things like listening, communication, right? Understanding another person's point of view. Okay. Sometimes people never practice those things ever, right? They never see things from another person's point of view. And a lot of times this happens in meetings where, in business, we're trying to get to a destination and all we can see sometimes is our way. A lot of times we're in our own way. And a lot of times it takes stepping back and allowing someone else's point of view to be heard, to be put on the table, right? And let's process that and see. A lot of times we don't look, right? And that was the situation with this individual, right? He wasn't listening, okay? And sometimes when we can just listen, that can transform the whole dynamic of a conversation, of a relationship, of a marriage, of a business deal, of a business itself and the growth or the merger of a business. I mean, different areas. Just by listening and communicating, being able to express yourself, being able to say what's really on your mind, because sometimes we hold stuff in. There's no benefit of holding stuff in. Obviously, there's a way you want to communicate that though, right? There's always a way of doing things properly. But the point is to be able to communicate with someone, can cause a major transformation, and guess what? There's power in that transformation, because think about it. If you were to just kind of change that and you didn't, hold your feelings in and you were in a place where you were free and felt comfortable expressing yourself, like, what would that do for your life? How would that change the current relationships that you have? Or what relationships could you build as a result of that, right? I mean, like, your business partners could understand exactly what it is you're trying to say, exactly what you're trying to convey, where you want to go. And then it brings so much clarity. Can you say it with me? Clarity, and this isn't hard. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be hard. Fundamental things. When we talk about transformation, we can start at a very basic level. I think about professional athletes. Everyone wants to do the slam dunk in basketball. And if you're playing football, they want to do the little dance in the end zone. Great. But before you can get to that level of, productivity or results, you have to start with the basics, right? And so when you start playing football, you start playing sports, you start with the basics, the fundamentals, and that facilitates a massive transformation. But you can't jump over the basic stuff and just go to dunking and dancing and all of that stuff if you don't have the fundamentals. And so when you're thinking about transformation in your life, let's not sabotage ourselves by trying to do too much, trying to change too much at one time. Let's take our time. Let's think about the fundamentals, the basic things, little small changes that you can implement in your life on a regular basis that can change the entire trajectory of your life. For me, just eating a healthy diet on a regular basis can bring about massive results, right? If you just got rid of all the junk that you eat, what would that do for you? How would it make you feel? How much weight would you lose? Like, what if you just drank the proper amount of water every day? These are very small changes, powerful results. Powerful, right? And then you learn something from these little small basic steps, right? You start to learn discipline. You start to learn that I can stick to a goal, I can stick to a plan, and I can get it. I can do it. I can get to that next level. And as you do that, then you can start advancing into other areas of your life that may require a little bit more effort, may require a little bit more time commitment, right? But if you don't have the mindset to master basic transformation, like, let's start there first, because I just feel like it puts you in a place where you can start from a routine, get that down, and then elevate, get the momentum going, and then go from one level to the next, to the next, and to the next. And before you know it, your whole life has changed. You're not even the same person. Like, people can't even recognize you because they're like, who is this guy? Who is this girl? They are powerful. I mean, look at them, right? And so for me, that's the power of transformation, right? And those are the steps that I took. Being able to get out of a wheelchair, it didn't happen overnight. My transformation took, watch this, y'all. Listen, 18 years, you know what I mean? And I'm still transforming. I'm still growing. I'm still working on things, And so transformation, if you really want to talk about transformation, it's a process. And I'm big on processes, right? I have the program called the Progress Process because progress is a process. Well, so is transformation. It's a process. And if you're not looking at transformation from a process point of view, you can sabotage yourself because you think you're a transformer and you're just going to change overnight, right? Or on demand. I'm going to transform. No, it doesn't work that way, right? And it can be done. And how we do it is by taking smaller steps, starting with the fundamentals, and taking our time and enjoying the rewards of those transformations, as small as they may be, along the way, and gaining that experience of what it feels like to go through that process and transform, right? And so that's the power of transformation. That's what it really is all about. And gaining those skills and the know-how to implement that in your life, right? And so if something isn't going well in your life, let's not get too excited about it and overreact. You know, Bob Proctor says something that has stuck with me for years. You know, he said, reduce it to the ridiculous, right? Reduce it to the ridiculous. And so doesn't matter how big it is. Bring it down, break it down all the way down. And when you find that least common denominator, right? Identify that. And what can we change about that? What can we transform at that level? And then we bring it up back to the top, right? For me, it was pushing a wheelchair. I wanted to walk, but right now you need to push the wheelchair, son, okay? We know you want to walk, push the chair, okay? Get your arms strong, you know? Needless to say, it worked my arms, it worked my abs, it worked my mindset. I'm walking today. It's a complete transformation. But I didn't start walking from the beginning. Even though that's what I wanted, I had to start somewhere else. It's just what it is, guys. You know, I don't know what to tell you. It's what we have to do. And I'm trying to make it simple because I know sometimes it can be hard. So let's make it simple, right? And that's the power of transformation, you know. And so where are you in your transformation? Like, type that in. Let me know, you know, because when I work with clients, this is something that we talk about. We talk about, you know, where they are and what can we transform? What can we do differently? What do we need to change about what they're doing, what they're thinking, the vision that they have, you know, about the problem. Maybe the perspective needs to change. And this is what we walk through whenever I'm dealing with a client to help them transform their lives, right? It's not hard, and we have a lot of fun with it, you know? Transformation can be a lot of fun. You can make it fun, you know? You can play with it, right? If there's something that you want to transform that you feel is a little uncomfortable, well, challenge yourself for 5 days. And if you can do that, make it 10 days, right? You can do all kinds of stuff with this stuff, right? Your transformation can be whatever you make it. And so Melissa says that I'm always transforming. It's a daily habit. That's a good tip. She says, I'm always transforming. It's a daily habit. So now her transformation is habitual, right? She's going to be forever transforming into something greater. Why? Because she has the habit of practicing transformation. Isn't that wonderful? So, like, Melissa, that's beautiful. You can transform anything, you know, because you have the fundamentals down. You know what it takes to transform, and you do it every single day, right? For some people, I get it. You might not be there yet. And Melissa, I'm sure that took some time for you to do that. And perhaps you had some ups and downs with that process. But now it's a habit. So you have a paradigm shift. That's what you've had, right? That allowed you to make it a habit. That's something that you practice every day. That's great. I love that. Thank you. You know, what about someone else? Like, type it in. Like, is transformation a daily thing for you? Is it a monthly thing? You know, what is transformation for you? I would like to know. I'm like Melissa. It's every day for me, you know, every single day I'm practicing transformation. I'm always trying to get better. I'm always trying to do it better, do it faster. Listen, I've been walking around without a wheelchair, I don't know, 6, 7 years. And guess what? I'm still thinking about running. I'm still working out. I'm still doing squats. I'm still doing things that will transform my body. I try to eat right. I try to get enough water. I try not to put things in my body that will disrupt healing, That's all part of transformation. I try to get enough sleep. I try to take care of myself, A lot of times we're just not practicing transformation. We're not going through the process of transformation, right? I mean, like, if you put a seed in the ground, a transformation takes place with that seed. But you know what? You have to water the seed. You have to make sure it's in a proper soil so that it will grow. I mean, it's part of the process, right? It has an incubation period, and so a carrot is going to take a certain amount of days before it transforms into a eatable carrot. An oak tree is going to take a certain amount of years before it transforms into a oak tree. You can't change that. The best thing to do is go with the flow of your transformation. Go with the flow of it. And so we get frustrated when we try to break the process. We try to go against the process. That's not going to work. Sorry. You have to go with the process because the process is a natural law, right? If a female gets pregnant, it takes 9 months, brother. I mean, you're not going to get the baby no sooner than that. I mean, it just doesn't work that way. It takes 9 months. 9 months, right? 9 months, okay? So that's just what it is. And if we can get comfortable with that, like not fight against it, I think our journey towards our destination, our true power, will be a lot more pleasant because, we're going with the flow. Go with the flow of your transformation, right? So what is the transformation for you? What do you want to transform? What do you want to change? And do you have a big enough reason to change it? Like, are you fed up with it? Are you willing to do the fundamentals? Do you want to dunk? Do you want to dance in the end zone? Right? Well, guess what? You got to learn how to dribble first, brother. It's the process, man. So type it in. I want to know, what is your transformational request? What do you want to transform? Perhaps I can help you. I help clients. I help people go through all kinds of transformation. Like, I am the transformational expert. If you want to transform something, come see me. Because we could talk about all day, if you haven't noticed, transformation. Because it's my thing. I love it, right? And I love transforming my body, transforming my mind, helping you transform your body, your mind, your thought process, your perspective, like your attitude, your financial situation, all of that stuff has a process, and you can do it. Like, you can ride high. You can be up there with those that are really doing it, really making a difference in the world. You can transform your life. You really can, right? But you can't do it without going through the process, brother. It's not going to work. Or sister, okay? So, again, type it in. I love you guys. I know this was helpful. I enjoyed this myself, to be honest with you, because, I'm going to think of something else that I might want to change in my life, that I want to transform. And you know what I'm going to do? The first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to break it down to the least common denominator. As Bob Proctor says, I'm going to reduce it to the ridiculous. And when I find that least common denominator, that's where I'm going to start. And I'm going to master that. Jill Bullitt said, get in position for the transition. All right. That's good. Get in position for the transition. I love that. Sometimes we're just not in the right place for the transformation to take place. We have to change the environment. Oh, you know what? Changing your environment is a transformation. That requires a different mindset and all, right? I love that. Thank you, Jill. Thank you so much. Guys, I love you. Sorry I've been going away for so long. I've been working on some products. I've been working on some programs. I've been working on some live events. And guess what? You guys are not going to believe this. That children's book that I mentioned a little while ago, I just got the illustrations back for that. And I am super excited. Oh my gosh. It's going to be amazing. Amazing. And guess what else I'm thinking about? The Rodney Flowers radio show. How would you guys like that? Like, would you guys like that? Would you guys like to have a radio show? And I know some people, some gurus in the self-development arena, and I can get them on that show and we can get some information that they can share. Would you guys like that? If you would like that, type it in. Let me know. Type it in that you would like that. And I'm working on a new book right now, right? It's called, well, I haven't finalized the title, but it's going to be about walking in your power on a daily basis. Like, how do I do that? For me, I have a regimen. It's like a ritual that I practice every day, okay? And I'm going to share that with you. If you don't have a ritual, if you don't have a regimen, you might have to get you one. That's a transformational thing. Because when you have that, and you're able to implement that in your life every day, you can walk in your power. It's kind of like sharpening the saw, making sure you're sharp, That's forthcoming. It's going to be an ebook. You guys are going to love it. And guess what? As a bonus, I'm going to have some really nice, healthy recipes in there. I bet you didn't know that I can cook. I can cook. And I'm going to share some of my recipes with you, how I stay slim and trim. At least I try to. And I'm going to share those things with you so that you can incorporate them in your life, right? And walk in your power. I'm going to give you some advice, some tips, and some strategies to keep your body strong, to keep your mind strong. So as you go through your transformational process, you can go through it powerfully, right? You can go through it expeditiously, right? Get where you're going faster, okay? Right? We only have one life to live. However, there's an incubation period. I'm not going to show you how to go against the process. Nah, the process is in your favor, okay? So you all have a good night. I will be back tomorrow. I missed you guys. It's good to see you, Melissa. It's great to see you, Bonetta. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for your comments. Jill, I love you. Mwah. Good to see you as well. Thank you guys for watching. I'll be back. I'm going to try to be back tomorrow at 7:30. I have something juicy I want to talk about tomorrow. I promise you it'll be just as juicy as this one was. And we can do it all over again, okay? I love you guys. Have an amazing night. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Take care. Mwah. Love you. Good night.